So you're considering nursing, but you don't know if you have what it takes to survive in these nursing streets. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the 5 qualities that make a good nurse. My name is Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. I have been a nurse since 2013. I graduated with my bachelor's in nursing. I spent the majority of my nursing career working in critical care. I was an ICU nurse, and now I'm a family nurse practitioner. So I know a little bit about the topic, and that's what we're going to chat about in today's video. First and foremost, you're definitely going to be a good nurse if you don't mind getting your hands dirty. Contrary to what many people believe, nursing, unfortunately, is not a glamorous job, especially if you plan on working at the bedside. I think a common misconception is that there is a nursing assistant that can do all of the dirty work for you, and unfortunately, that is not the case. I worked in critical care for many years, and there were only 1 or 2 nursing assistants for the entire unit. So the majority of the code browns and other messes involving blood and other bodily fluids had to be cleaned up by yours truly. You're going to be in between people's legs, placing Foley catheters and other devices. They're going to be patients who are fully functional and seem like they can absolutely wipe themselves, who are going to ask you to do it just because you're their nurse. So there are levels to this, okay? I worked in critical care, so I was very hands-on with my patients. I was bathing my patients each shift. I was doing a lot of wound care, a lot of oral care. I was drawing a lot of blood. There are so many procedures that I was doing that required me to get my hands dirty. So if getting dirty grosses you out and you are just like, no, it's not for me, all hope is not lost, okay? Because there are other areas and other specialties that you can work that don't require you to get as dirty. So there's still hope for you. All right, moving on to the next thing. You're calm in highly uncomfortable situations. So I'm going to give you a very real example of an uncomfortable situation. I had a new admission to the ICU and I had just stabilized my patient, and I invited the family to come up and see the patient, meet me, give them an update on what was going on. So as I was having a pretty friendly and casual conversation with the family, I hear the monitor going off and the patient went totally asystole on the monitor, aka they flatlined. So in that moment, I had to 1, remain calm, 2, explain to the family what exactly was going on, and 3, do my job and save this patient's life. These are the type of situations that you're going to encounter. Another example, I had an intubated patient who was restrained. I had family members call me into the room screaming at me, asking me why I got their family member tied down, ready to fight me. Highly uncomfortable situation. So these are the type of situations that you are going to encounter as a nurse. And you need to know how to 1, remain calm, 2, de-escalate, and 3, survive. Because things can get pretty heated and you have to keep it cool and figure out how to navigate all of these uncomfortable situations. So gotta have that skill for sure. You have critical thinking skills. So this is something that it's really great to have prior to becoming a nurse, but honestly, this is something that really does develop on the job. So prioritization is key in nursing. Recognizing which tasks are urgent and take priority rather than just following orders. You really got to think about what you're doing as a nurse, and you have to have those critical thinking skills to be able to say, okay, this takes priority. This needs to be done now. I can put these 3 other things on the back burner and then get back to them before my shift ends. Very important to have critical thinking skills. Are you detail oriented? Very important in nursing to be detail oriented. Nursing is all about paying attention to trends and recognizing when any little minute detail is out of the ordinary. The very slightest change in your patient can be something that's critical and cannot be missed. So being very detail oriented is vital in nursing. In nursing, everything matters. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, a chaotic and unorganized person is usually a train wreck as a nurse. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Last but not least, you better have some thick skin, okay? Because when I tell you the amount of times I've been cursed out, almost attacked, and this is not only when dealing with patients, okay? This is when dealing with your coworkers. The whole nurses eat their young thing is extremely, extremely true. I experienced it and I was very sensitive and I took it hard and I took it personal. And I've honestly seen nurses quit over bullying. And it's a real thing, but you got to have that thick skin. And once you figure out how to navigate it and work through it, you're going to thrive. But you got to have thick skin. Patience, okay? These people are at their sickest. They're angry, they're depressed, they're sad, they're fatigued, they're in pain. It's pretty much like the perfect storm. So these patients are at their worst, and you walk into the room, and some patients are not going to be kind or appreciative. They're going to curse you out, they're going to try to fight you. There are some nurses who actually have been physically assaulted at work. So at the end of the day, what are you going to do? These are real stories and real things that are happening to nurses. So you're going to have attendings who treat you like trash and talk to you like filth. And depending on your personality, you have to be ready to encounter those things. It's not really a matter of if, it's a matter of when, unfortunately. But I think having thick skin and learning how to navigate and work through these things is vital to being a good nurse. If you're the type of person to fly off the handle, pretty sure you will literally lose your mind as a nurse. You're going to experience so many triggers in just one shift, okay? The list really does go on. So you got to have that thick skin and be ready to encounter all sorts of triggers. You got to just let it roll off your shoulders and keep it moving because you still have a job that needs to be done. So, how many of these qualities describe you? I'd say if at least 3 of them do, you're in good shape. The other ones we can work on. The qualities that you don't possess, these all will develop over time. These all can be learned after becoming a nurse and after you start working, especially like the critical thinking and whatnot. If you possess all 5 of these qualities, I have no doubts that you will be a great nurse. If there are any qualities that I missed that you can think of, please leave them down in the comments for the rest of us. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.